And recording.
Welcome to the entirely experimental game of Hunger Games, D&D. I have no idea how this is going to go. In fact, you could all be dead within 10 minutes.
Woo!
Exciting.
I feel the love coming through the computers and through your voices. However, I have every bit of faith in you. And ultimately, the odds are in your favor.
We're gonna die. For sure.
For those of you who have not that much understanding or a lot of understanding or watched the videos like way back in the day but have never seen Hunger Games again since then or whatever, I'm going to go through the schedule of what happens before the Hunger Games actually begin, because you also need to make some choices along the way. The way that I'm going to start this game is by saying all of y'all were selected, reaped as it were, to be part of the Hunger Games, and nobody volunteered for you. Unless any of you say right now that you volunteered for someone else to take their place.
No.
Hell no.
Okay. So you volunteered for no one, you were reaped, and no one took your place. You are all on the train heading to the capital. Some of you from District 8, some of you from District 12. You head there with your fellow tributes and any sort of victor from previous years that will now educate you on how the Hunger Games work. What they tell you is that the first day that you arrive, you are immediately put into physical preparation for the upcoming parade that will be happening the following morning. In that parade, you are going to be all guzzied up and done up and look beautiful as you're put onto this chariot that is going to be horse-drawn as you are announced to the capital at large, and they're going to get their first exposure to you. After that follows 3 days of training. And after that is their private judging, where you will each go into a private judging room separate from each other and demonstrate a key skill that you want to have really show off what you can do. From there, all of you will receive your individual ranking numbers going from 1 to 12. 1 being you have no hope whatsoever, you may as well be a slug in the arena. 12 being you're a god. And the judges will judge you based on how they think you'll fare in the arena. And on the last day, you get interviews, and you get to tell me what sort of impression you want to leave on the audience, who are essentially going to be your sponsors, who will try, hopefully, to keep you alive. Any questions?
I love it.
When you say audience,
The capital people. And also the people in the districts who are forced to watch the Hunger Games.
cool.
Okay. So, as far as the chariot parade, what impression do each of you want to leave on the audience? Do you feel like you want to be stoic and strong? Do you want to be, like, pointing up to the crowd, making kissy faces? Do you want to be terrified? Do you want to be humble? Do you want to be brave? Jeff?
My character will be... stoic.
Trevor? Taylor?
Mine's pretty stoic too.
Okay.
We're the most boring district.
No, that's totally okay. That's totally okay. Because actually...
To the point where my guy's not even looking up.
Because ultimately, stoic is what's come to be, like, tradition during this part. So you guys don't stand out, but nor do you go, like... Or nor do people react to you with, like, ugh, they disgust me. So you're an even medium.
So I think I just... because he kind of clarified his stoicism, which is totally weird. And I want to clarify... So when I mean stoic, I don't mean completely, like, facing forward and almost, like, oblivious to what's going on. Like yeah, I have, like, a poker face on, but I'm, like, looking around.
Okay.
I'm just relatively still.
No, I get it. You're not like a statue, but
I'm-
you're just
I'm-
kind of
I'm
like...
observant.
You're not remarkable.
My character, just to let you know, he is always observant. He's always, like, people watching and solving, very observant.
Okay.
Sobbing.
Sobbing?
Solving.
Yeah, that's what I heard, sobbing for.
He's
My
constantly
character's always sobbing.
I'm
says
always
Jeff.
crying.
Like a little kid.
Okay, going into the training days, you have 3 days worth to train. You are all presented with a giant room that you can train in specific weapons. You can get your arms and legs and gut and everything stronger by working out. You can practice hand-to-hand combat. You can do ranged. You can learn how to climb or crawl or swim. You can learn how to pick out different foods and know what's poisonous, know what's healthy. You can learn how to do traps. So how this is going to work is that you are each going to tell me what you really want to focus on. The more options you pick, the less the benefit you get. The fewer options you choose, the higher the benefit. Taylor, you first.
I figure I'll do mostly like bows and climbing.
Okay. Good. Trevor, you are going to have to talk for this.
I'm actually gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna split amongst 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna go like sneaking stealth, knives, and foraging for food.
Foraging. Jeff.
So this is all encompassing. Like every single
How would you
skill I
prepare?
can think of.
Yes.
Fasting and like resourcefulness.
So that would be how you eat.
Yeah.
And
So how
prior to-
I eat basically. Throwing weapons. Which can I say throwing weapons, or I have to pick a specific one?
So is it large weapons like javelins and axes, or smaller like knives?
Knives, shurikens.
Okay. Trevor, are you using knives as a melee or throwing?
Melee.
Okay. Okay, so throwing small.
Yeah.
Anything else?
And traps.
And traps.
Because, as we all know, it's a trap.
It is a
Absolutely.
trap. It's always a trap.
Absolutely. It's always...
Don't
yeah.
let anyone make you think otherwise.
Alright. Taylor, you receive +1 to Dex as a result of your training. Did I ever?
Yes.
Wow. You receive +2 damage to knife usage.
+2 damage to knives.
Yes. And you take +1. Sorry, you correctly learn how to identify a great deal of roots and berries as to what you can eat, but you know you could have learned a great deal more. You were mutually distracted by the knives that you're just like, oh crap, what did that pink berry do?
Yeah.
Okay. And Jeff.
I'm trying to remember what the third skill I chose was. Like a big dummy.
You receive +2 to throwing small weapons.
+2 damage. Throwing small. Okay.
And you successfully learn how to create or set two different types of traps, one on the ground and one above.
Okay. Ground trap setting and would you consider that air trap?
From like a branch. So yeah, so like from a linear area above.
Can you put the light on?
Hi, Cameron. Wow, I cannot believe you heard that. Hey, this microphone was money well spent.
Okay. Oops. And Taylor, the judges notice your dedication to dexterity and cunning training. So that'll be your second bonus as well from what you've done. So you got a stat bonus and increased notice from sponsors.
Damn.
That was for me.
Yeah, that's you.
Okay. So moving on to the second to last day in your private judging, you either may text me, message me, or say aloud what it is that you show the judges, but all of y'all have to act like you've never heard it.
Okay.
Trevor, starting with
So
you.
You have to go through the personal interviews with the judges, figure out what you want to do, and either message to Tommy or say it out loud. We'll just
Because
pretend
I
we
could
never
have
heard.
sworn I remembered all my abilities, but
What's the judging room like?
It's really like your training room, just with a bare, empty middle area for you to pull whatever you need to the middle, so you can demonstrate. You have
I lost you at the end of that.
so you have
I got to similar to training room.
very similar to the training room where you can pull whatever you need to the middle and demonstrate whatever you want in the middle. If it's like climbing, there are climbing ropes. If there's balance, there are balance beams. Essentially, whatever you want to demonstrate, if they don't have it, they will get the necessary equipment to test you. So whatever you want to try, they will try to help you.
Then what Stuart would do is he would stare at them, completely blank. Just you know that posture that a little kid would get, where it's just kind of reserved on himself, but it's creepy because he's just making perfect eye contact without ever hardly blinking. He waits for a moment where they all look away, and he just goes and hides somewhere where they can't see him.
Oh, okay. Give me a d20. Give me 2 d20s, please.
2d20. 12 and 15.
That's 15 gets an intelligence bonus if you've already applied your points.
I don't. I haven't. No, I don't have any points in intelligence.
Okay, that's fine.
If we did skills already, I took sneak.
Okay.
No, you can bonus the dex. And the
Jeff?
judge is your
What do you demonstrate?
Notice with the judge.
Actually, Trevor, one more d20 before I close out with you. This is another intelligence. Okay.
Natty 1.
You want me to go to Taylor first?
no, I know now.
Okay.
I was finishing typing. What I show the judges, is can I have like another person with me?
No, it has to be alone. But you can have a dummy with you.
Nah. Well, I was just for someone just to like start dealing cards.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Literally just like a prop person to just do as I say.
You can ask one of the judges to like
Okay, so
interact with you from
Yeah.
up in the box. Yes.
Perfect. To interact. Well, then now I'm trying to think of like what type of a memory game I could do with cards, like specifically, but I don't think it's gonna really matter. Basically, I'm gonna show my my intelligence through basically like card counting.
Okay.
And keep track of cards. So ideally, I would want to have like my like person that I use just flip through cards, and then I like tell them to stop, and I say what's left in the rest of the deck, basically.
That's fine. That can happen.
Yeah.
So give me 1d20.
5,
Give me another.
10,
And what's your intelligence?
5,
And one last one.
1.
That's really funny that both of you have rolled a 1 on the third one.
Yeah.
Okay. And Taylor, what would you like to demonstrate?
I would probably want to like have some like climbing ropes and like show like shooting arrows at targets from like various heights.
So they limit your time to only one specific type of action. So is it the kind of thing where you'd like to try to combine the shooting and the climbing? Like shoot from on high? Or is it the kind of thing that you want to demonstrate how good you are at climbing or the shooting?
Probably just more so how good I am at shooting.
The shooting. Okay. Give me a 3d20s as well.
19 for the first.
14.
14.
19.
Alrighty.
It's gonna be that kind of D&D campaign for me.
Alright. Considerable. Alright. So that evening when you guys are back in the tribute tower, as it were, Bonnie and Spade are both in the District 8 flat, and they're sitting on the couch with their fancy teams that keep them alive and educated on how the games work, and like the people who guzzy them up and the people who tell them you're gonna die, but we'll make you look good. Those people. You're watching the TV and watching Caesar Flickerman on the TV providing all the scores for the people in different districts, all the way up leading up to District 8, which is both of you. And he comes to Spade with a score of 7. Bonnie with a score of 10. He makes his way all the way down through 9, 10, 11, then 12. And Stuart is the very last one to ring. Or no, it's not the last, sorry. And he says 9. Then he finishes with your fellow tribute, and it closes. And before you know it, all of you are on stage with Caesar Flickerman himself in the next day. And the last roll from you guys is what type of impression with your own voice to the crowd do you try to leave with your sponsors? So going first, it would be, according to HG lore, it would be Taylor first.
So sorry again. What am I trying to?
So you're now in the last day of the interviews, or last day, which is the interviews with Caesar Flickerman. The what's the actor's name?
I don't know that.
Not John Cheadle, huh?
Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, Stanley Tucci. And
that's the Ryan Seacrest dude, right?
Yeah.
From the show, he's like the host. Okay,
yeah, looking crazy with golden flaming hair, and he's asking you a bunch of questions about yourself. What impression do you try to leave with the audience?
I was thinking that my brother had been into games at 3 years ago or something, and so I'm kind of just trying to play up his death and wanting to make him proud type of thing. So
you're going for the family angle.
Yeah.
Trying to have better luck than your brother had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a D20 cunning check, please.
What the fuck? 14 plus 3. 17.
Beautiful. Then we move to Spade. What sort of impression would you like to leave?
Wouldn't Trevor be next?
No, because you're District 8, and so is she.
Oh.
And the men
My
go
apologies.
after the women in each district.
Got it. I thought you were going by the ability score. Or
No.
the danger score, threat score, whatever.
No.
Okay.
Danger zone!
Danger!
Fucking Archer, man. Okay, so the impression I want to give off is at some point in the interview, I'm going to mention the whole every 15 years thing. How every 15 years someone in my bloodline gets picked or reaped. And how I'm going to be the curse breaker. I've given myself a title. Spade the Curse Breaker. And how my plan is to simply outlast my opponents.
Give me 2 cunning checks.
20.
Oh my god!
And 12.
People are absolutely mesmerized by your 15-year story. Like, not even a single person in the Capitol audience is doubting that it's a genuine curse. People in the districts are just like, he seems really convinced. What if, like, curses are real? Like, our lives suck, but at the same time, this kid seems to really have it worse than us. And then the 12 was for you naming yourself, and people, as you leave the stage, cheer for you as Curse Breaker.
Awesome. I also have 2 cunning, if that makes a difference.
It does.
Okay. So it's 22 and 14 if they were cunning checks. And I have awareness, which I get +6 to my cunning bonus.
Yes, I know.
So if I need to perceive anything that's going on...
People are flashing you.
Oh, okay. Great.
Trevor, you are the very, very last to be interviewed. You are aware that the crowd is getting a little bit tired. Therefore, you feel like you have to be kind of impressive to be memorable.
I love that.
So Stuart's mute. He literally cannot talk. Like, so Caesar would start asking him questions, and
Caesar's the kind of host that really tries to help the people out. So he actually indulges you in trying to do American Sign Language to you.
So I don't know actual sign language, though. Stuart's grown up in the mines.
Right.
So, question for you as the DM. Did we establish, would other people in District 12 know about Stuart's situation?
Very, very...
Because all he's done is lived in the mine and lived on stealing bits and pieces out of, like, the miners' lunches as they're down there. So he's almost kind of like, the way I was picturing it, if you're cool with it, is urban legend, almost kind of thing, where they're just like, just leave a little bit for the kid in the mines, kind of thing.
Oh.
Because if so, then I would grab the other tribute from District 12 and just charades it with her, to have her tell the story about how both my parents died in a cave-in. I ran in after to try and dig them out, and I never left the mines except for obligatory times like reaping.
So give me a d20 to see if you would have been cunning enough or swell enough to convince people to let the female tribute back out on stage to help you out.
Well, that's right, because they leave the stage.
They leave and can't come
All right.
back.
Nat 20 plus 5.
Cool. So with your 35, wait, no, wrong.
25.
With your 25, they really like how the impression is that you've developed this really strong friendship with this girl whose name is... Wait for it. Fern. F-E-R-N. And Fern helps you by describing the story, and she is luckily cunning enough to describe it in full so that the crowd feels for you.
Hey, Cameron. Just so you know, we're not video recording.
Okay. I didn't know. I know you wanted to maybe voice record stuff.
Yeah.
And they like it. Also because it breaks tradition by letting another tribute out on stage with another. So it's, again, memorable. They are a little haunted by you at first, but then when your story comes out, they're kind of like, oh, he just doesn't know any better. He can't really...
So it's like suddenly they have the context for why Creepy Kid is so fucking creepy.
Yes, and he's suddenly actually kind of admired and cute in a very haunting way. They kind of want him to go away.
Time, no changes in facial expression.
Of course not.
Beyond
Autistic?
So even when she's telling the story, like, Stuart's lived in the dark for so long, facial cues are no longer a thing because nobody ever freaking sees his face. Just for added flair.
I'm going to give you an even bigger bonus because you put a 20 and a 5. Is that when Caesar was trying to help you out by signing to you, you watched him, like, do that, and then, like, there was a pause and you did this. And the audience really liked that and started laughing. So you were confusing, then funny, then tender. All without you having to do a damn thing. So these people are gonna die.
That's the point, isn't it?
That's how you V&D. I'm just kidding.
All right.
Unless one of them gets like lost in the. They never find them.
Last roll. How do you guys sleep that night? How well?
We're rolling for it?
You are all rolling for it.
Oh.
Willpower check.
I
I have
roll
0 will.
myself to sleep.
2.
Okay. Oh my. Taylor gets a nat 20.
She sleeps like a baby.
Yeah.
She's out.
Oh, big.
She's well rested.
Mine's right next to a nat 20, so 8.
Okay. So we have 2, 8, 20. Got it.
I
You-
hate that the 8 is right next to the
Yeah.
20 on a d20 because it's just like, hey, an 8, and the 20's over there going,
Yeah.
what? Go work.
So, you are all taken from the tower, not forcefully, but kind of, you don't have a question in mind that you can't fight these guys who are guiding you into the elevator, then down the tower, down to a secret tunnel, into airships that are then guiding you to the arena site. At no point do you see the outside sky. You have no idea in what direction of the country you're going. The flight lasts about an hour, except you know that the gadgetry and the vehicles in this world are so much better than actual modern day that an hour plane ride could get you up to Canada, could get you even maybe to Europe, because they're so dang fast. So you could be anywhere in the world right now.
We are in Big Steel Bird, which does not flap wing.
Yes. Amongst you, all around you, are the other tributes. You notice that there is a district boy from 1 who has a jagged scar over his left eye, maybe has a cataract, and just looks gnarly as hell. You've noticed him throughout training that he is ripped. He volunteered for this, and he is 18. This is his last year to be able to do this. The common theme in 1, 2, and 4, which are the career districts, it's a common theme to volunteer for this. So it's actually bad luck to be reaped, because that means you're going to get usurped. So 1, 2, and 4 are the careers. Therefore, the people who like secretly trained for this and think of it as actually like an access to glory for life. There are people amongst you who look terrified. People amongst you who look just kind of resolute, like, well, okay. But most of them look like they're exhausted and like they're about to throw up. What?
I was just being a jackass.
Oh, okay. When you all land, the 24 of you are guided away from each other, and all 3 of you find yourself alone in a cell, like a very small rectangular room, and on the other side of the room from you is a tube that has a platform that you will stand on. On a table to the side in each of these rooms, there is an outfit for you to dress in. You are obligated to get dressed in it. You find yourself dressed in gray camouflage pants, combat boots, bright orange socks, orange trimmed jackets with a hood, but it's a very thin hood, and a black shirt. You also see that there is a small bottle on your belt that's marked iodine. Iodine. Okay?
To clean out a wound.
Or to clean something. So, I will say that there's a possibility that waiting for you in that room, it could be a person who helped you along the way. It could be a past victor from your district. It could be your stylist. It could be no one. Regardless, eventually, there is a female voice saying, "Step onto the platform, please." All of you must. You're forced onto the tube platform. It closes around you, and you rise up into the arena. The blaring sun beats down on you and it takes a couple seconds for you to actually orient yourself. And when you do, you notice that there's a giant clock counting down above you on a digital screen that you know marks the dome of the arena, so it's not really the sky. It's something digital that they've created. And it starts from 60 and counts its way down all the way to 0. And as it's going, you feel there's a thump with each countdown of the number, like your heartbeat is really heavy, and like the bass is all the way up to 10, bro.
Mm.
You try to get your bearings. Taylor, you do not apply to this. Trevor and Jeff, roll d20s, please.
4.
Cunning.
Plus 2 is 6.
19 plus 5 is 24.
Okay. Hold tight for me, please. Spade, you are...
Did you say it was an orange jacket?
It was an orange trim
Gray
jacket.
jacket.
It's a gray jacket with orange trim.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, for clarification, the jacket is gray with orange trim. Okay? So you are...
And a hat?
No hat.
Hood.
A hood.
Hood.
A thin hood.
Oh, attached to the jacket.
Yes.
And the hood was orange?
The hood is also gray with orange trim.
Okay.
16. So you are... Jeff, you just feel a buffeting cold wind from behind you as you barely take in the rest of what's around you outside of the ring of other tributes. Trevor and Taylor, you take in that you are in a split into 4 arena, like a plus sign, or like a clock, for instance. From 12 to 3 is one type of environment, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12. Each quadrant of the arena is something completely different from each other. So I'm going to try to find you. Taylor, you're 17. Your back is to a beach. And outside that beach is just a vast, wide body of water that leads into effectively nothingness. But you know it has to have an end because you're in an arena. To your left, you see a wide, expanding desert with the sun beating down over it. Completely across the arena from you is thick jungle. And to the right is a frozen tundra that goes down into the earth, that kind of like loses altitude as it goes down. The desert also slopes downward. Trevor, you see this very same thing, but your back is to... Where's 24? Your back is also to the frozen tundra, just like Jeff. Spoilers.
So where...
You are...
I got tundra behind me.
Which means that to your left
To
is
the right.
to your left is the beach and ocean. Across from you is the desert, and to the right is jungle.
Got it.
Now,
Am I allowed to see that?
yes.
Super.
So, in front of you is a slightly sloped hill up that you see the cornucopia. And the cornucopia is this open, literal cornucopia made of metal that you know are all the best items in there. It could be food, it could be the sharpest weapons, it could be the blankets, it could be medicine, it could be the things that you want very badly for this game. The items, however, start in front of you, 10 yards in front, but it's kind of like a throwaway thing. It could be like a piece of plastic. It could be something very like meh. And then there's another item 10 yards after that. Another one 10 yards after that. And then 10 yards beyond that is the cornucopia. So what I'm saying is that effectively, mathematically, the cornucopia is 40 yards away. And every 10 that you run in is another item. The further you go in, the better stuff you can get, but the more dangerous it gets because there are other people closing in on you. Does that make sense? Trevor?
Can I tell what other tributes are nearest to me?
You are...
I'm gonna go pee real quick.
Go for it. On
Before
your
it gets
left is...
I think you can still shower.
On your left is the girl from 6, who is quite young. And to your right is a guy from District 11. Very dark-skinned, very short, also very young.
Okay.
And Taylor, I imagine you'll wonder the same thing, so I'm going to indulge. To your left, you are on the furthest part of the beach. So if to your left is immediately the desert, and the person to your left is in the desert quadrant, and they are from District 3. They are a young teenager. And you also notice that just beyond them is their counterpart to District 3. So both District 3 tributes are right next to each other in the desert area.
Okay.
And then to your right is one of the careers.
Nice knowing you.
I know. I know.
We're just waiting for Jeff. But
It's just
I don't know, what is District 3?
District 3 is technology. It's the factories that make explosives, gaming. They don't do transportation, so it's different. And they also don't provide the electricity or power. They just build the things of luxury that are technology based.
They build computers.
They build the computers.
Potential techie and a fucking gladiator neck.
Yeah, specifically, it's the girl from District 1, and her name is Silk.
Too bad I wasn't a
Probably
mage.
shoots people with silk.
I light her on fire.
Yeah. So you, Jeff,
I
upon
cast fire. Wait.
so, according in front of all of you, I'm going to allow you to focus enough, despite your panic, to see a certain number of items in front of you that will entice you. You ready?
That was actually one of my questions: is how far out can I see?
Yeah. All right, Taylor. In front of you, 10 yards ahead of you, is a backpack. It's small and it is bright pink. You do not know if it's filled or empty. 20 yards ahead of that is 2 bandages. 10 yards in front of that is 3 throwing knives. Trevor, 10 yards in front of you is a bright green hat. 10 yards beyond that, there is a sleeping bag. Jeff, 10 yards in front of you, there's an empty canteen.
I
that's all you can take in.
just want to throw out there. I have awareness and 2 cunning, so that's going to be +8 to my perception checks.
Correct. Go for it.
Well, I not one, so.
Okay. All right. Yes, Trevor.
Could I attempt to make one as well?
Yes,
Just
you
because
may.
I have high counting?
Yes, you may.
After my bonus, 21.
21. So, 10 yards beyond the sleeping bag that you see a sword.
Oh, fuck.
Sword. All right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I believe...
Canteen?
Canteen, yes, in front of you. All right.
I not one, so I can only see.
You can
one-
only see
one
10
thing.
yards ahead of you because you didn't sleep well,
Yeah.
and your and the sun is like right in your eyes,
Oh, that's great. And I have Tundra behind me.
and you have Tundra behind me. Behind you, not me. I'm not there.
God is here, guys. Let's kill him.
Spoiler! I'm not there.
Hey, God's here. Get him. During the plane ride, because I'm an observant prick, I'm going to ask you all kinds of questions.
Mm-hmm.
The most confident people, do I see them around me?
Yes.
And I know what district they're from, so I know if they're trained or not.
1, 2, 4, the boy from 10, and you notice that the kids from District 3 are the most disinterested.
Are any of the super confident people near me?
No. Actually, let me be fair. I mapped this in my head, but let's
Sure.
play a dice game. No, they did not.
Would you like to play a game?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Yes.
Can I see any, 10-yard increments to the different items? How far are the tributes to my right and left?
I'm so glad that you asked that. Who would like an optional bonus?
I
Who
will.
would like a what?
An optional bonus.
I
If
would.
you can complete the math without your computer or calculator to find out what the diameter of the circle is based on what I've said, I can tell you.
What are yards in the cornucopia, 80 yards across. Oh, God, I haven't done math in so long.
It'd be
It hurts.
yeah, 120 plus
Don't say it out loud.
40 times
Stop it.
141.
Stop it.
Would be 564. 120.564
You expect me to
yards.
do a fucking equation with pi in my head?
Oh, that's the
What about pen and paper? Are they allowed that?
circumference. I just figured out.
Hey.
What's the circumference?
120.564.
Man, I've been drinking. I'm not gonna drink now.
It's 40. The center of the court. You said the cornucopia is 40 yards away, but you never said how big the cornucopia was. So I'm assuming that 40 yards is dead center.
Correct.
Times pi would be 120 plus 40 times 0.141. Oh, I forgot to add the zero, so it'd be 100,
There you go.
125.64. With the circumference.
Unfortunately, you're incorrect.
Well, I hate you. And go die.
I'm really sorry, but I'm not that sorry. Any other guesses, guys?
Oh, it's the
I'm doing the math,
diameter.
I'm
I'm an
doing the
idiot.
What?
It's diameter.
I'm doing the math. 1 sec.
So it'd actually be twice as much. It'd be
Yeah, shut the hell up.
200 and
Heard
it'd
my
be
numbers.
251.2. God damn it.
Are we 20 yards apart?
Hold on, please.
To be fair, Taylor did say that first. She said that, and I forgot.
But I also didn't do math. I just guessed.
What was your initial answer?
Well, my initial was 125 point something because I did radius pi, but then I was all like, oh, I'm
Wait, were
done.
we
It's
trying to figure
diameter
out the
pi.
circumference? Or were we
So-
trying to figure out how far apart we
So
were?
the circumference would be, I corrected myself, I doubled it, and it would be 251.
You're correct with your first answer. Sorry about that. I was doing pi times radius squared, which I almost immediately was like, that's area, you dumb fuck.
Oh.
Like,
Okay,
that's how you
cool.
calculate circle area.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're correct.
Cool.
125. Okay.
Well, the circumference would be 251. 'Cause
Pi times diameter.
yeah, diameter's 80.
Yes. Oh, I keep
No,
misspeaking.
but-
You're right. I'm sorry. You are right.
No.
You're still right.
I know.
But I'm just wrong twice.
Yeah, it's okay.
You were wrong.
I was wrong. Apparently, I'm wrong a lot.
I'll go ahead and
So
edit
we're
this.
120
I'll go ahead and edit
yards
this audio for a
apart, so
bonus.
We're all distant, and we're
Hey.
over
Okay.
5 yards apart. We're 5 yards apart, then, aren't we?
Approximately, yeah.
I was gonna say it's 24.
I did
It's
area.
around the corner, like along this wall.
Wow. All right, for your bonus, you also, because you had such a low roll for what's in front of you, I'm going to grant you access to what's in front of you diagonally and one more ahead.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so 3 more items. To your left, you see a single knife.
Okay.
To your right, you see a lengthy rope.
Okay.
And just beyond the canteen, you see a bag marked with a red square and a white plus sign in the middle of it.
The person to my left, are they fat?
Are we talking like meat level, a little bit of a pooch? Are we talking like junk?
Do I think I can outrun the person on my left?
D20 dex check.
Dex check.
Yes.
Should be intelligence or something.
D20 dex check, please.
Okay. 17 plus 1 is 18.
Okay. You are very confident in your ability to run, and based on the fact that 21 is from agriculture, District 11, you are not sure because they grow up
Mm-hmm.
running and
Physical.
getting, yes, they are physical.
Yeah.
So you're not sure, but they are younger than you.
What about the person on the right?
I was dancing over here in
sorry.
my head.
Person on the right is the
Told you I was going to be annoying at first.
Person on the right is Trevor.
And Trevor is a young creepy child.
Wait, I'm so sorry. It's the girl from the girl from his district. Sorry.
Okay, the person helping him
Trevor
on
is
stage.
2 away from you on the
Who is
left.
also a young creepy child. I'm
So it's
kidding.
also a young creepy child.
Yes.
The person on my right, I can
Is a girl from District 12 who looks emaciated at best.
okay, I can outrun her for the rope. What's the person on my left doing currently? As it's counting down, are they looking around or are they staying forward?
Determinedly looking like they're going to run forward.
Okay.
Taylor, any questions for you?
Yeah, so the career district person to my right, Silk, or whatever her name is.
Her name
Does
is
she
Silk.
look like-
She's 16 and from District 1.
Okay. Okay. Does she look like she's pretty fit?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I think. Alright. That's my question.
Okay. Around the 20-second mark of it counting down, the 2 districts from District 3 jump off their plates, and bombs go off, killing them instantly.
Oh, they just decided to lull nope out.
Yes. 2 cannons go off immediately, and all of you need to give me a willpower check.
17.
But don't you have 1 point of willpower? No.
Nope.
Nope.
7.
8.
Please give me a cunning check, Taylor.
What?
Cunning check.
Oh, 13.
Wonderful. You see to the left of, or where they once stood, past the gore of their bodies, you see that the item that was sitting right in front of them was a small dirk.
Okay. Is there anyone else around to grab it? Like on their other
The
side?
closest person to you on that side is 2 podiums away.
Okay.
This would be you, where 3 was, and then a bird.
To be completely fair, I created this map before any of you rolled your districts. So this was completely random. Yay. The great thing that I like about doing this experiment is that everything was based on random die rolls. All of your district homes, all of the possible bonuses you guys have gotten, where all the items were laid out outside the cornucopia, everything is random. Except for a few things. Obviously. The arena's not random.
No,
Alright. Who has the highest dex?
I have 1.
I have 6.
6?
3.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taylor, you get to choose what to do first. The first question I should actually ask all of you is, do you go in or do you run away? All 3 of you.
Like, do we all answer simultaneously right now?
Individually, so I can hear you. Do you run in or run out?
I mean, I'm gonna run to the side to grab that dirt.
Okay. Trevor, do you go in or out?
I'm gonna wait and see what everybody else does.
Okay.
You just stand there.
Jeff?
I'm going to run diagonally to my right as fast as possible and intercept the emaciated female child and leg sweep her.
Taylor, your action, please. You're going to go for the dirk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, D20 dex check, please. You need to go to bed.
Ooh, how's that feel?
14.
14.
Yep.
You, like in a blink, feel yourself suddenly on top of the dirk and grab it in your left hand. Trevor, what do you do? Continue to watch?
So the people...
The boy on the right is from agriculture. He's the boy who's determined to go, it looked like. And there was a girl from... I'm losing it now. From 6? Where's the list? Yeah, girl from 6, which is transportation.
Are they both running forward, or are they running away?
Good question. The girl hesitates as she steps off, meaning that she does not leap off, getting a burst of speed. So she like sort of skips over, wondering, "Am I doing the right thing?"
And the boy?
And the boy is gone.
Running for his own items. I run away. I go to the jungle.
Okay. D20 dex check, please.
17 plus 3 is 20.
No one even notices you as you run away. You're so fast and so slight. Yes.
As I'm running, because I'm kind of going ying sideways. Some people are probably running away. Some people are probably running towards the cornucopia. Do I notice any items as I go? Specifically, I want to find a small knife or dirk like what Taylor's character found.
Good point.
Oh, good. Cool.
That's awesome. So as you turn away from the cornucopia, Jeff will therefore be to your left now, not your right, and which means the beach will be to your right. You see two people, one just beyond the girl that hesitated, they run away, and two beyond them run away too, which means that the person that is effectively 3 people away from you has a lot of stuff that they can grab all alone.
I'm going to go for that area as I head for the jungle. I just want to find a weapon.
Okay.
As I make my way to the jungle.
Okay. D20 dex check. D20 dex and D20 cunning.
Dex check is a 10 plus 3 for 13.
Okay.
Cunning is a 14 plus 5 for 19.
Lovely.
I'm not fucking any more dice.
Ooh. Okay. Trevor, you pick up your own empty canteen. You get the empty canteen and the rope. I rolled luck. If you went for it, yeah. But let me finish with it.
Okay, sure. I have questions.
You pick up an empty water bottle. You try to grab for a backpack, but they beat you to it, and then push you to the ground as your hand curls around a knife of your own.
I immediately abandon the backpack, grab the knife, palm it as best I can so they can't see that I'm armed. Look around, panic real fast, and then sprint for the jungle.
Okay. How firmly do you hold on to the canteen, and how badly do you want to flee?
I lost you after the word canteen, but I'm assuming you asked if I hold on to it as I run.
Yes.
Pretty firmly, but if I end up with a choice between canteen or knife, I choose knife.
Okay. D20 strength check, please.
It's just a straight roll for me, and that's garbage. That's a fun.
Okay. Last D20 dex check.
Also not great with bonus 10.
So you make it away, but your defense is 5 because you're level 1, and the person threw an object at you and it hit you in the head from behind. Yes?
Did we do skills at all? Because I did take evade.
Oh, perfect. You got it. So you have 8?
Correct.
It still rolls higher than you. Dealing you a cataclysmic 2 damage.
Ow.
Yeah. But you are running towards the beach now. Jeff, you now have a canteen
Whoa.
or... Yes?
I wanted to run to the jungle.
The jungle is now on the complete opposite side from you. But you can run around the ring and try to just avoid people.
That. That's because originally I said I was running to the jungle and I wanted to look at items as I went, so I thought that's the way I was.
Okay. Jeff.
I got a knife. I'm happy. I can actually do the shit I was planning to do.
Couple questions. So before I was allowed off the platform, My shit's all zipped up and tight, right?
Okay. If you want. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You can wear it however you want.
My goal was to run diagonally to the right and leg sweep the girl, assuming she was going to run forward and pick up some items. Did she run forward or did she run away?
Oh, good question. Good question. She out, man.
She noped?
She noped.
Okay. And as soon as she nopes, instead of trying to intercept like her path towards her first item, I just go straight for that first item. As
So
I
the rope first.
Yeah, as I grab the rope, I throw it over my shoulder.
Good.
And I
like how you're
examine what?
I like how you're thinking. Yeah.
And I examine what the guy to my left was doing. I do a very quick check, like look up, see where he is.
Guy on the left is already at his second item, which means that you notice.
Why is my battery running low? Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hold up.
Okay, we're still recording. Did I not plug it in? Seriously? Please plug it in.
You got it.
I didn't plug in my laptop, folks. Jesus. Okay. So now I have power again.
So the boy from 11.
He's at a second item.
This is observation for you because you said you're observant.
Yes.
I'm giving you this gift. He is exceptionally fast.
And he's at a second item.
Yes.
So he has a knife and whatever the second item was.
Yes.
If he is going straight for the cornucopia or for his third item along the way, I will grab the 20 yards item first and then the 10 yards item third.
As you're running away.
As I'm running away.
Okay. Let me see if you're intercepting anything from beyond where she was at the podium. So from your far right. You're good. They're distracted by their own second
Okay.
ring item.
What's the guy doing? The super fast guy?
Moving his way to the third.
Okay. If he's moving his way to the third, as I pick up the red and white plus symbol, assuming it's a med kit, I pick it up. I examine the item very quickly. That's 30 yards out. And I have to know what it is before I act. My goal
It's
is
a very well built and balanced axe.
What kind
I
of axe?
love the temptation that's in your eyes right now. It can be a hand and a half. It can be one-handed or two-handed.
Okay.
Hatchet status or
It's better than hatchet.
As I pick up the med kit and I see that it's a blade of any kind, I immediately sprint for it.
Okay.
As fast as I can.
don't trip.
Yeah.
Luckily,
I get
the
there?
point is pointing away from him, but yeah.
Do I get there?
Give me a dex check.
13 plus 1 is 14.
You make it there, and you notice once you arrive at the axe, District 11 is looking right at you.
I run. Like my goal is to not even like make eye contact when I grab I'm going for the axe and going straight for my 10 yards item as soon as I pick it up.
Okay.
So he can look at me all he wants.
Okay. Taylor, I'm coming to you next. I'm sorry, I'm delaying.
I'm going over ya.
He has catch questions
Wow.
to deal with both me
An arrow shoots past your left ear and it completely misses you. But now there is an arrow that landed just by the canteen.
Super, because I'm picking up both.
Cool. So now give me a dex check to see if you can properly grab all 4 of these items
I
and
know.
keep them with you.
I'm holding on to a
Because
lot.
you don't have a backpack.
The rope is around my shoulder. So really I'm going to try and hold the arrow and the axe together because they're both shafted.
Yes.
And then my offhand will pick up the canteen. And if there's a spot for it on the belt. Oh, is the canteen looped? Is there a loop on it?
No.
Or is it just a lone canteen?
If it's
a lone canteen,
it's about that tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a lone canteen, I will pick it up by the nozzle with my left hand. My offhand.
Okay. Next check, please.
19 plus 1, 20.
One more dex.
18 plus 1, 19.
So, a final thing is intelligence.
I have 5.
But that's
Oh.
one more roll of intelligence.
9 plus 5 is 14.
You head directly, automatically, and I'm deciding this for you, directly into the first area that is away. That is the frozen tundra.
I wanted to go to Tundra anyway.
Okay,
Yeah.
that works for you. Taylor, you wanted to jump in front of where District 3 was. You grabbed that first item, correct?
Yep.
I'm sorry, now I'm drawing a blank. What item did I say that it was?
Dirt.
A dirt.
That's what I thought. Okay, so what do you do now? District 1 went, like, you notice in the corner of your eye that she looked at you right before she leapt off, and then she jumped off and just went straight for the cornucopia.
Okay. Am I in front of the desert now?
You are currently still in front of the beach. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, you're, like, right on the edge of the beach and the desert.
Okay.
You're right at 12 o'clock.
Are there like new items in front of me now? Like
So,
towards the...
you actually, yeah, you have a selection of what theirs was and your original ones. God, she's lucky. Oh my god.
Guys,
Is luck a hidden stat?
Huh?
Is luck a hidden stat?
No. Say what?
What are the ones that were in front of the people from 3?
Okay, so in front of 3. So what's funny is that I'm actually treating skull dice as more deadly. So let me get this in front of me. There is a backpack directly in front of you where 3 was standing. And based on the bulk, you can tell that it has something in it. In front of where you were, at the second line mark, wait, sorry. There is a, like a small, like, it looks like a fanny pack, but you can't tell what's in it. And then just beyond that, at the 30-yard mark, in front of you and where you were standing, there's a bow and arrow. And then to the left, there is some sort of headgear, but you can't quite tell. It's domed.
I'm gonna want to go for the bow and arrow.
Of course.
But is there anyone else like in that general vicinity?
That is the closest you will possibly get to District 1.
To what?
To District 1, the girl who ran in. That's the career.
She's going for it.
Oh, she's already going for it? Oh.
Or she's going in that general direction.
Oh, but
So
she
like-
hasn't passed it yet, though?
She's heading towards that, like, right now.
It's like sprinting. She's probably much
So
closer
it's
than me.
like if this was you and this was the bow, he was over here and running to the cornucopia.
Yeah.
So I mean, you go that way, you're probably gonna be 5-10 feet of her.
Yeah.
Yard.
Yeah.
Wow.
My
For
dad's 6.
for your own benefit, please give me a D20 cunning check, please. I think I just said please twice in that sentence.
Yeah.
7.
7?
Wait, no, I lied. 4.
4? Okay. You cannot tell, based on the exhilaration and adrenaline that's running through you right now, you cannot tell or really take in the information of what's in front of the other District 3 that was 2 people away from you. Does that make sense? That, like, now is, like, considerably away.
Mm-hmm.
So you can only make out what was directly in front of you before and what was in front of District 3 that was right next to you, who is now dead.
The bow and arrow is going to be great for you, but it's going to put you close to danger.
No. Technically, I have a dirt
You could
bow.
say you were going towards the
Danger zone! Danger zone! I don't know, part of me is like, I have a dirt. I can just like...
Hey, fuck that bitch up.
Yeah, maybe she'll die in the process and it's one less person for you.
Yeah, don't trust your party members, please.
Yeah.
I think you might take some damage with her. If you choose your mind, it's just going to end up being slightly hurt going into it.
I'm going to give you one more piece of environmental information. The tail of the cornucopia is pointing towards you. The mouth is pointing away from you.
Oh, wow.
I understood that.
The District 1 girl's gonna have to go around.
It's a fuckacopia, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That thing is bow and arrow, bro.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna run for it for the bow and arrow.
Okay. Are you going to pick up anything along the way?
No.
Just go straight for the bow.
Yep, I'm gonna try to beat her there.
Okay. D20 dex check. Actually, 2 of them, please.
2,
Ooh.
20,
3.
no, 23, and 6, 18.
Alright. One more D20, please.
Seven.
She,
Any bonuses?
she beats you to the bow because she hears you behind her,
And picks up.
and she
Okay.
anticipates that you're going for that. So she grabs the most immediate weapon, grabs it, but the funny thing about a bow is that it's not a ready weapon. You have to put it together. So as she picks up the bow and even the quiver, you're on her as soon as she's even trying to swing the quiver around her arm. So she doesn't have an arrow out yet. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you react?
I mean, my dirk is in my left hand. Can I just, like,
Stand
swing at her?
You want to shank her? She's a child.
down. She's
I
so
mean,
soon.
yes. Or just, even just, like, do I want to shank her or just, like, hit at her arm?
Fucking shank that bitch.
Yeah, I might as well. I'll just
It's
shank
the Hunger Games. No.
Are you like a dwarf? Like,
It's the Hunger Games.
Smeagol.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna shake.
Okay.
I'm gonna shake her.
Do you know how to attack in this game?
I
Roll the d20, add your dexterity.
yes, I do.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Is it like you just happen to know it? I don't know how she got it. Is that my
I
cheesecake?
know. I just.
There's
know
a
these
really
things.
sarcastic, deep voice in headcon.
I
Yep.
found this. What kind of question is that?
For future Tommy, who forgets what happened this night, you made a lime cheesecake 2 nights ago. It was very citrusy, and your wife loves it.
Did
Go
you
on.
see how much I've eaten?
I haven't seen it, but that's a huge piece that you get to share with me. Come on.
We break away from the other games to produce lime cheesecake.
Did you want a slice? I can
Yeah, yes, please.
Alright.
Thank you, honey. All right, I'm really sorry. What did you roll?
17.
Oh, dude, you hit her.
Yeah, 11 plus 6.
Do you want a slice?
I would love a slice.
Okay.
Alright,
Yes,
how-
honey.
How big of a slice?
You don't need to give me anything big.
You're-
Just what you would
We'll take a couple
what
pieces
you would
too,
think
please.
is
Yeah,
a
right.
regular slice.
Well, that's what I cut myself, but.
DoorDash?
I will take a regular slice.
Okay.
They would like a slice too.
Okay, let me just stash my computer. Like,
She's gonna break her screen, putting the lovely dairiness through it. Yep. All right. It is a D4 weapon, so please roll a D4 and add your strength and cunning to it if you have any.
You cut out after strength, what?
Add strength and cunning.
So just cunning in your case. Ah, it's D4
6.
weapon, babe.
Oh, you said 4. Oh,
The D4 weapon you said, right?
Yes.
Yep. So D6 ain't gonna work. Correct.
that's cunning.
Yep.
3, 5.
5 damage. Now roll intelligence.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, D20.
Okay.
Plus a whopping 1 for.
10.
It's kind of hard to tell when it's how
It
the
is.
was.
So because of your, again, exhilaration and panic, you do not hit her in a vital area. And because of her adrenaline, she also feels the pain less, but you damage her quite decently. It's rounded up to 6 damage, just so you know. This is not going to be how it is every time, don't worry. I'm not just changing rules randomly. It actually does matter.
Points are made up and everything doesn't matter. Whatever the hell.
Okay. District 1 screams and like backs up quickly away from you, and like tries to like get this freaking thing on her, and like tries to pull an arrow out, and like she's not. It's obvious that she is. Thank you, honey. That she is not the archer that you are, and I say that because she's not
Sure, I don't know. Over the
getting
next-
herself ready as quickly as you think that you could if you had the bow. So part of you is like, let's just give this to me. You don't even know what you're doing. But as a result, she tries desperately to get herself together to pull an arrow out. And she manages to get an arrow out, but it spins in her fingers that she has to recatch it, but now it's in stabbing motion. So she is going to what? Okay. She is she's used too much of the action to try to grab the arrow, so her only thing is to try to duck like her shoulder down to try to protect her face from probably another attack coming from you. So your action.
For District 1, she's a little bitch.
Keep stabbing now.
Did the dirt come like back with me, or did it get like stuck in her?
It wasn't thrown. You meleeed it.
Okay.
So it's just like regular D&D then for attack. Rather than just hit.
Yeah. I'll try to hit her again. This is plus cunning.
Plus dex to hit.
Plus dex. 6. 18. 18.
Definitely. Actually, that definitely hits. What abilities did you get from the beginning?
I've got pinning shot, sneak, and evasion.
Oh, lovely. I think she knew what she wanted to do. I'm going to be Katniss. Okay, roll damage, please. 1d4 plus strength and cunning.
But you have no strength. You are not
I
strong.
used fresh lime juice and lime zest on top.
I'm
4.
coming right now.
I'm going to pre.
I'm gonna fucking pre-dude. I'm gonna fucking pre-dude.
I'm gonna fucking break it. All those guys. Dan.
Michelle, come here. They're doing an impression of me.
That's my favorite part. Hey, Michelle, these guys are hilarious. They're doing an impression of me. That's right.
All right, I'm sorry. What damage was it?
Boys, press down. Can't get it up. Not so.
Not so. Giant cock is over the entire audience.
What's the damage?
4.
She is bleeding freely from the top of her chest now. Oh, sorry. She was bent over. Oh, even worse, actually. It's right across the back, like just below her neck. So in a place that she cannot stifle the bleeding. Is that the right word, Trevor? Stifle the bleeding? Stop the bleeding? Whatever.
Staunch.
Would be what I would use. Staunch. Staunch is way better. You're
Staunch
right.
is better.
Yeah.
So as a result, because of the lack of ease to stop the bleeding, she is going to receive bleed damage.
Yeah.
You're gonna get. Wait. First blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, surely someone
She
else is right
continues to back up, now getting dangerously close to another tribute who's on the hill. And she pulls the arrow back and she attempts to fire at you. What's your defense?
9.
She rolled a 5 total. She missed you with the arrow.
already. It makes sense in that situation, honestly.
She also received 2 more bleed damage. It is still your turn. It continues to be your turn. What do you do?
Fair, sure, man. Look at that bow.
Finish him.
Ugh. I just want to run, but no, I'll finish it. Finish what I started.
Why run? If you kill her, you get the bow.
That's true. I know, but okay. Okay. Yeah. Do it again. Just, okay.
Probably still gonna hit.
6 plus 5. 11.
Quit
Hits.
bumping me out of the way.
Damage, please.
What?
Damage.
Oh.
Keep it.
Cool.
Execute her.
5.
She is is in so much panic and covered in stab wounds and or cut wounds and blood that she tries to fumble for another arrow. Her blood is like her sweat rather is slicking her fingers that she can't grab one. So she tries desperately to like swing the bow to like slap you with it.
Get bow slapped.
What's your dex? Or sorry, what's your defense? 8?
9.
Wow, she misses you again. I'm going to say that you have the opportunity for a finishing move.
Can't tell what it said.
She gonna get a chance for another hit? Is that what you said, Tom? You
It's-
guys are cutting out.
You have the chance for a finishing move. You're cutting out too.
It's not Skype, is it?
Finishing move?
So I try to hit again.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And if this hits, you can kill her in any way you want.
Okay.
Ha! Easy.
Yep.
How do you kill her?
In my game, we say, how do you want to do it?
How do you want to do it?
I'll just be vicious and slit her throat because it's right there. She's panicking.
And watch her die as you pull the bow out of her hands.
Yep.
Alright. D20 intelligence check, please.
I pee on her with such force her chest caves in.
Oh my god!
17.
You do so in such a showmanship kind of way, knowing you are being watched by the entire country, that you can literally feel your score with your sponsors increase by a couple points. So as you pull the bow and arrow off of her and put it on you and put your dirk in one hand and bow in the other, and you look up, you see no one's around you. Because they all made it towards they all went for the mouth of the cornucopia and thought that the career was a bigger threat than you, and thought that as soon as she was done with you, they were going to die to her. So they didn't want any part of this fight. So you're effectively alone by the butt of the cornucopia. What do you do?
I mean, what items are around the butt of the Can I see what's around the butt of the cornucopia?
So you know that now behind you is the headwear that was on the third ring that was like high value of some sort. You also know that back the way you came was a backpack and some sort of fanny pack filled with something. And otherwise, most of the things in front of you have been taken away. You think that you see a bedroll out there, but you're not sure. And then if you turn around, there's still quite a few kids fighting. So it's hard to make out.
What color's the backpack?
Good question. Good question.
Didn't you say it was the bright pink one from earlier, Tom?
That
Different?
I think that was something different. Because if backpack was on level 2, that means that the color options are these. It is a bright highlighter yellow. Very helpful.
Yeah.
You're actually amazed you didn't see it before.
If I go for the fanny pack, am I in front of the desert?
No, you're barely in front of the beach.
Beach.
The beach?
She's on the cusp of the beach in the desert.
Yes. You're easily like straddling both areas.
Where you look at sand?
Trevor. Would it kill you to have some moisture? Okay.
Okay. My ultimate goal is to get to the jungle, so I don't want to backtrack. So I'm gonna start making my way towards the jungle.
You go way downtown.
Thank you. I was just about to do it. Running joke. All right.
Make him way down.
I'm really sorry.
Kill him faster.
Taylor, I got so adamant about wanting to complete that joke, I completely lost what you said. What did you want to do?
I get it.
Make their way to the jungle, not downtown.
So, are you wanting to go outside of the circle and go around, just like Trevor had, or do you want to go straight across? Because you're going to have to run across the entire cornucopia hill to get there. If you want to
Yeah, I
go
don't
direct.
want to do that.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. I don't want to backtrack, but I want to kind of go around a little bit.
Okay. D20 intelligence.
You know, I really gotta say.
19.
What is with her dice? Oh my god!
You know what's pissing me off?
Huh.
They're technically my dice.
Hmm.
They don't roll that way for me.
Dex check, please.
Well, those dice are obviously like the Elder One, and it is choosing a new master.
Oh, you
Apparently.
ruined it. Oh, 13 plus 6, 19.
Oh yeah, I ruined it.
I thought it was 3.
When you realize with your such high intelligence and realize, actually, it's not that hard to jump all the way through all those people. I can make it. So you don't go directly, but neither do you go, like, completely outside of the ring and go around, which would take way longer. You go you kind of dodge high obstacles, but as you're halfway across, you see another child.
I love that you keep calling
Child!
You're emphasizing children a lot, and I like that.
You
The
see...
youth.
You see the boy from 9 on the ground, heavily bleeding and panting. That looks like he was like just sort of forgotten about and left for dead. What do you do?
Do it. I gotta say, I'm really surprised that she didn't like post up and just shoot people as they were leaving the cornucopia.
Kind of me too. Don't give her ideas though.
Oh, do it. There's less people to worry about, huh?
Fewer.
Thank you.
No, I'm just gonna keep running.
Okay. Oh, thank you. What is it?
That's a 6.
You make it so easily to the jungle that by the time you touch the trees and look back, you actually laugh a little bit to yourself as you notice that no one pursued you.
Woo.
You are safely in the jungle. Trevor, I need you to roll your continuation to the jungle, avoiding people. So we're kind of going back in time a little bit for this fight. So while she's fighting Silk, what are you doing? Actually, I should say, are you running around the tundra area or running around the desert area?
Which one's a shorter linear distance for me to get? My object here is to find something where I can break line of sight and start being stealthy.
You're closer. It would be a longer route to go about the desert area than to jungle. It is shorter to go frozen tundra than jungle.
And when you say tundra, are we talking just flat, snow-covered areas, or is it part foresty? Is it?
It is. There are no trees. It looks like exactly like the desert, where it like slopes down into the ground like a.
Lost you. Looks like what?
So it's going down into the ground. It has a lower incline, or it goes down like a slide. It's sort of into it's not flatland, but there's no trees. Like there's no bushes. There's no vegetation. So like as you descend into the tundra, you can like, sort of lose yourself in the hallways of like the sloping rock and everything that goes into it. The rocks look really cold. It does have snow. There is ice. The desert, just so you guys all know, is exactly like that, where it descends into rockiness and sand. Just they're on opposite sides.
Another question: does it look like anybody is going to us?
Yes. Your companion, the girl from 12, went in there.
Girl from 12 went where?
Went in there. Went into the frozen tundra.
Tundra. Yeah, I'll go tundra then. But the aim is still to get to the jungle.
Okay. D20.
That went rogue. Am I adding anything to that?
Yes, Dex.
15.
Lovely. You make it easily halfway across the frozen tundra area, and as you're passing the tundra, you peek over to it, and you see Fern peeking around a rock watching the carnage from the cornucopia, or at the cornucopia, and you see her and she sees you. Do you do anything?
Kill her.
Oh my god, Jeff! He's really getting into this game.
Yeah. She is your competitor. She must die.
I leave her where she is and keep running.
Okay, another D20 dex check, please. Which way did you go? Jungle?
Towards the tundra.
Towards Tundra. I need a dex check from you too, please. 9.
There are things I was wanting to do before reaching tundra.
Okay, but roll this first.
6.
Excuse me, sir. Wait for your fucking turn. I'm just kidding.
6 plus what?
Dex.
7.
Trevor, you make it just to the cusp of the jungle as you hear people behind you. Like, it's what seems like really close to you. Do you peek around or do you keep running?
Peek around.
D20, a true number check.
Once again, that fucking 8, right next to the D, right next to the natural.
God, this is so good.
I know, isn't it?
And this game, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
So good.
High stress.
No, I love it. I love high stress.
Okay, if I roll low, you're getting hit.
Uh-oh.
If you roll high, you get to run. Ready?
Get to.
I'm rolling.
No, I roll. Or unless you want to roll it.
Don't.
Let me. Okay.
Just because it's luck.
Oh, Trevor. I rolled a 1. Now, that's complete luck, so it's not like a reverse crit on you. I'm not saying that, but you were hit, okay?
No, not okay.
You are a short blade enters your side, your left side, dealing you 4 damage. You cannot tell how deep it is, but it is stuck in you, and you are shocked by it. And so as you, like, halt, it doesn't fall out of you. It's still there. How do you react?
I grab onto it to keep it in place and I keep fucking running.
D20,
Boy,
please.
I got 2 daggers, bitch.
D20, please.
Thanks for the loot!
By the way, Trevor, Cameron laughed as you saying, 2 daggers, bitch!
I heard it.
God.
You can't run with it in your ribs.
Sure I can. It's just not smart. I'm 12. I don't know that.
God.
Am I adding anything to that roll, Tom?
I need a willpower check first, and then a dex check, please.
11.
11 willpower?
Yeah.
Okay, and now dex, please.
12.
Cool. By the way, that willpower check barely saved you. I was looking for 50-50 shot.
Yeah, I believe it.
And then dex, you are now in the trees.
I'd like to immediately hide.
Just as you make it into the trees, and if you were to look over your left shoulder to see if anybody was pursuing you, they're not, but you happen to see Taylor coming up.
I lost you after trees.
Are you sure this is better than Skype?
Are you sure this is better than Skype?
Cameron gave up the game.
Damn it!
Discord is usually fantastic. I don't know why that's like that. Maybe try Skype next time.
Yeah. But, yeah, we'll probably have another session of this, because I don't think we're going to finish tonight. But, that's fine with me. What?
I actually didn't say anything.
Oh. So, just as you're entering the trees of the jungle, and if you were to...
As soon as you say trees, every time.
Trees.
Triggered.
Trees. 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 If you were
There's
to
a
look...
lot of trees.
If you were to look over your left
You
shoulder,
said trees. Sorry.
you see Taylor coming into the jungle as well, but she is quite a ways away from you. like at least 30 yards away. But you do see her about to enter the jungle. What do? You easily notice you easily notice that she has a bow and arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I focus on finding a place to hide.
Okay. Please give me an intelligence check.
Find my intelligence.
I should have put some points in intelligence.
Okay. Jeff, it is your turn.
We're ending with me grabbing the canteen, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm holding onto an arrow, a hand and a half axe, a canteen, and rope over my shoulder. District, I don't give a fuck. Fast guy that is sprinting the other direction behind me, going towards the cornucopia. I see that Fern has run into the tundra. That was the emaciated girl, yeah?
Yes.
And I'm aware that she has nothing.
Yes. You see in the corner, I'm going to say that... Oh, okay, so you spent a lot of time. You also... Yeah, you see her, and running away from you, you see Trevor darting it for the jungle. So you are behind him as he's, like, running, but you're still.
The only people I'm aware of are Fern and Trevor.
Correct.
With the exception of people behind me.
Yes. Who may or may not be pursuing you.
The only person that was looking at me was the fast guy. I'll check over my shoulder to the right real quick, which is towards him, just to make sure that he didn't chase after me, seeing that I picked up an axe.
You cannot tell.
I can't tell?
You can't tell because the sun is glaring off the ocean, getting into your eyes.
Oh. Well. Great. I
I
say, hi, fast guy, are you chasing after me? I can't see. No, I'm kidding.
Give me a D20 cunning.
I have persuasiveness. I'm kidding. God. That was so fucking funny though if I just stopped right where I was. Excuse me.
Sir?
I run into the tundra, and if, like, I'm just going straight towards the center of the tundra, which expands for miles, correct? Do I see the person that... Do I see the person who I don't know whose name is Fern?
Yes, you do.
And I'm able to quickly tell that she has nothing, correct?
Logically speaking, because you saw her about face and run, you can assume she has nothing. Taylor, could you mind marking that your bow deals 2d6 weapons damage?
Yep.
Tommy, that's not fair. I'm gonna have to have you stop playing favoritism.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. Mr. Handaxe, don't worry about it, okay?
Yeah.
I've got a knife. No, I have 2 knives.
Which are both 1d4s.
As I am sprinting into the tundra and I see that Fern does not have anything, I, like, really quickly wave to her as I'm running by and I say good luck to her.
Cunning check.
18 plus 2 is 20.
She looks genuinely surprised as you say that, and then, like, sort of, like, considers, like, maybe this isn't a safe area for me to be, because you were able to, because now 2 people have been able to pick her out.
Yeah.
And so you see her go deeper into the frozen.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I can kill you right now, but I'm not.
Oh my god.
No, I don't say that. But I do genuinely say good luck as I run past. And as I run deeper into the tundra, and, you know, people, like, it's to the point where, like, I'm starting to hear nothing. Like, I don't hear people skirmishing anymore or any voices, or I don't see anybody. As that feeling starts to die down, I look for immediate visual cover. So to hide my body. And then I'm going to tear through all my stuff and see if there's anything that I overlooked. So checking all the pockets, checking the med kits, testing the usefulness of the rope, the quality that it is, and seeing how well made the axe is.
Okay.
Like all of the above. I'm scouring through all my stuff to make sure I have exactly what I think I have.
Okay. So you guys are now all in the jungle area. Do I have that correct?
I'm
all
in
of
the
you are
tundra.
you're in the tundra, but you two are in the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle.
Okay. I'm going to go over the inventory that I have written down for you guys, and please tell me if I have something wrong or if I've forgotten something, okay? Yes?
Going over inventory is what I got, so
Yes.
yes.
Trevor, you have 2 knives and an empty canteen.
And iodine.
Taylor, you have a dirk, you have a bow, and arrows. Did you pick
How
up?
many arrows do you have?
You have 8.
8. Okay.
Do you have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. You did not pick up the backpack, correct?
Nope.
Okay, that's what I thought. And Jeff, you have the most. You have a rope, which you now see is, actually, is a 10-yard length rope.
Sweet.
It is made out of thick.
Also, you're using yards. Can we use meters? Because that's how the rules are written.
I literally don't know how to measure meters. I've never learned.
Meters are okay. So
It's 3
meters
inches
are
longer than a yard.
it's extremely similar to a yard. So just
So
saying,
sure, 10 meters.
So that saying that everything is meters is not changing much.
Okay, then 10 meters.
Okay. Because the rules and distance
Okay,
and everything is all measured in meters.
Beyond is 36.
Alright. So you have a 10-meter rope made out of a really nice material and has no frays.
Sweet.
You have an axe that can be a 1d8 single hand or 1d12 dual hand. It is made out of an acrylic sharp material, like a reinforced acrylic. So you think just like it's
Quality.
really shiny. Is it gonna dent? And you like ching it against stuff like a mossy rock or something to not like cause an echo or something, and you can tell, no, this is capital quality. Okay.
Yeah.
You have an empty canteen, a single arrow, and a med kit. Is that right?
I've been updating my notes as you're telling me stuff. So, hand and a half axe, fine quality D8/D12. Vial of iodine.
Yes. Vial of iodine. All of you have iodine. Yep.
10-meter rope, fine quality. Empty canteen and an arrow.
And the med kit.
And the med kit.
Inside the med kit, you see 2 bandages and some sort of ointment that you cannot tell.
2 bandages and an ointment.
Yes.
Can I do an intelligence check to identify it?
Yes, you may.
14 plus 5 is 19.
It is an ointment that can either prevent frostbite or a severe burn, because ultimately they can equate out to be the same thing.
Frostbite/burn ointment.
It is essentially a nerve damage ointment. I'm going to take this time, since all of you are now outside of the cornucopia ring, I'm going to use the bathroom, and all of you can brainstorm on what you're going to do next. Scene.
Okay, guys, now that Tommy's gone, can we talk about how we're going to overthrow the capital government?
I know you said something witty and clever, but it cut out again.
I really hate this thing. Okay.
I'm telling you, man. Sorry, Cameron, but I blame you on Tommy's internet.
Yeah.
It's Comcast, like.
Yeah, Comcast.
Yeah, that would do it.
So what I said is, now that Tommy's gone, how about we conspire to overthrow the capital government now?
Okay, we got as far as overthrow capital this time. I think we got the gist.
Yeah, you got the gist. Just like in the movies.
Where are the berries? Oh, man. Should have figured that everybody would have gone for the jungle. I love how we all built our character to just get shit, hide, and wait everybody else out.
Yep.
I don't know what
I
you're talking
knew I should have
about.
built a tank again. I was like, I'm gonna play motherfucking rogue for once. I'm not gonna go all tanky.
Yeah, I actually really thought about going like stupid hardcore warrior. I think that would legitimately be like the second best build for given like level 1.
Yeah.
I think
Get like charge and stunning strike and shit.
Yeah. I think the first best, but I didn't want to be like Katniss, would be basically what Taylor is doing. But I was like, I don't want to just play this as Katniss, basically. So I just went with what I thought would be a really good counterpart. And then I'm playing off of Tommy's new stat intelligence. So I'm like, maybe that'll give me the edge. I don't know.
Whenever I make something new for V&D, and I make it G&D, Guntons and Dragons, I like to add something new, and whenever that new thing happens, Jeff tends to like cling to it. Like the genies, he's like, I'll be a genie.
Yeah, I'm obviously going to be a genie man.
Alright.
I should have just gone monk, fuck the weapons, I'm just gonna beat everybody.
Yeah.
I thought about that. I genuinely thought how fun it would be just to beat people.
Yeah, I did not even think about that until right now.
So, I would like to make one point very clear. I do not want to know, like, laid out, I'm not going to write it down, what your guys' max HP is, what your MP is, because I like the idea of nobody knowing. That
Okay.
it's just, all of this is survival.
Okay.
And your stats are different because, like, I need to know that for numbers.
Yeah.
But HP, I like keeping that hidden from each other. Okay? Unless you guys have already said that to each other, because, you know, you guys are on the same screen. But
I helped her make her character, so yeah.
yeah. I would also like to take this opportunity to update your numbers. Hold on. Okay. Now I'm going to take a moment. Dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel. I'm going to take a second to update the roster of the tributes. Whew. That person super died.
It's like, who? You did, Trevor. Leave.
It was definitely you. Hold on.
Is me.
Okay, yeah. So we won't go on for a whole heck of a lot longer because I know that work beckons. But let me just. Would you be good playing for another 30 minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Just all of a sudden I closed my eyes and I was like, I am so.
So this game is actually somewhat remarkable because more people than not survived the first 10 minutes. So as you guys sort of settle into some sort of like tree or by some sort of rock structure to give you cover of some sort, you become aware of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cannons, which is only a little over a quarter of the total.
A little over the third.
A third, yeah. A little over a third of the total as well. So that means that there are a lot of you left. And so a part of you is just like, wow, so many people survived. Oh shit, so many people survived. Jeff, you come to quickly realize that as you spend even more than 5 minutes in the tundra, it's effing cold. Despite your cover and your hood, you are concerned about how cold it will become at night. So, Taylor, what is your plan? Do you go hunting for tributes or food? Do you try to find a river? Do you try to find shelter? What is your plan? And yes, I am guiding.
How deep does this jungle go?
You-
How far back?
So by the time that you stop, you are assuming that you're at least 50 yards in, but can't tell because it's very thick.
Okay.
It's also very warm in here.
Okay. I think I'm gonna try to find a good tree to climb and take cover, shelter for the night.
Okay. A D20, please, with your intelligence, and a D20 dex check.
Oh. 10.
Okay, 10 intelligence, and dex check, please.
Well,
Wait. What'd you say?
first, one roll intelligence deck.
Oh, okay.
So the
Intelligence was 5. And then Dex was 16.
You make it very securely up into a tree with a decent amount of cover from beneath, so you feel remotely secure. However, there is nothing tying you to the branch, and you are aware that you are precariously perched and are nervous to go to sleep.
Okay.
Trevor?
I too am looking for cover, but I'm looking for cover. Like, so it's trees and whatnot, it's jungle. I'm looking for some kind of indentation, maybe under roots or something, kind of like that scene in Fellowship. Hobbits are hiding from the ring
Yeah.
tree branches.
Yeah.
I want to look for something like that, and I want to examine this fucking wound in my side.
Yeah. So, what takes precedence first? Hiding or what?
Cover, for sure,
Okay.
cover.
So, intelligence check, please.
Shit, dude. That's a 12. I thought it was a 2, thank God.
You find a decent hole to bury yourself down into. It is relatively tight, however, and it is relatively close to the edge of the jungle and in which you came from. Do you stop here, or do you go deeper?
Is there anybody around me?
Not that you can tell.
I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna stay here.
Okay. Give me a intelligence check on your wound. You
Dice hate me again.
you rip out the dagger, and then you look at the knife, and you notice that it's a throwing dagger. It has a very short hilt and with a long blade, but you can tell by looking at it that the blood only goes down about 1 inch down the blade. So it got caught in the webbing of your shirt and your jacket, so it only pierced you by so much.
Okay.
An inch at most, I will say.
I'll rip out part of my pant leg and use it as a bandage.
Okay. A true D20 check, please.
13.
13. You were able to do so successfully, but you but you now have much less material on your left pant leg. Okay?
It's hot in here. That'll work.
Jeff, your plan.
Okay.
Ooh, he's ready.
Yeah.
I like
Without
the whole Trevor's in your
without a backpack, how much stuff am I able to conceal?
Conceal?
I put the arrow and the 10 meters of rope on my belt, by the way, because I want them to be ready. So I understand if I cannot hide the arrow or rope.
You have no holster for your arrow. The rope you can wrap around you. The med kit has a handle on top, but not a strap. So the only way to carry it is with your arm or with your hand.
Oh, so the whole belt mechanism is not working right now?
The belt mechanism works for a weapon and works for a small object like a canteen.
Okay, well then I will put.
Just try imagining putting a 10-meter rope into your pocket.
Well, yeah.
So.
Okay, well then I'll keep the rope out for everyone to see. And the arrow, not a big deal. That changes things. My gray camo pants, I imagine, have pockets for the canteen and vial of iodine.
Yes.
Okay. I will take the 2 bandages and the ointment. So 2 bandages and ointment, I will take out and pocket them.
Okay.
And I will immediately begin to set up a medkit trap, taking the outer shell of the medkit and placing it out in a visible open spot. And I will use my I will construct a if I'm able to, a ground trap using an arrow and some rope length.
D20 intelligence.
20
By the way, Tommy,
plus 5 is 25.
Yes, Trevor.
should I have made a sneak check when I got into my little hidey hole?
Yes.
Seven, but I have a 9,
9.
so 16.
16. Okay.
No, 16. Yeah, 7 plus 9.
So
You feel quite secure with how you are located. The problem is that you don't have a lot of room to maneuver.
Yeah.
So you put the bandages and the serum in your pockets of the jacket.
ointment.
The ointment, sorry, in your pockets, and you left behind the bag and the arrow.
To make it bag.
Yes.
Okay, make it bag and arrow and some length of rope, because I imagine it would have to be used for a trap.
It depends on how you're wanting to do it. Like, are you keeping the bag with the arrow in it on the ground, or how are you imagining this working?
Well, that's the problem I have with abilities like this. Is like the player themselves have to have knowledge.
Yeah.
Of traps and whatnot.
So let's make this easier. How many do you want to use the rope or no?
Well, if I imagined I would have an easier time and it would be more effective with a rope.
Okay. I agree.
Yeah.
So if you want to sacrifice your rope and possibly lose it as a result, I will.
I do not want to use the whole thing though, because I have 10 meters.
Okay. So you want to try to cut it with your axe down to what length?
I'll do 9 meters.
Okay.
So I mean a meter of rope is a pretty good amount.
Okay. So you leave a trap. Meter. And do you leave it behind or do you stay near it? What do you do?
I leave it behind, and I'm putting the canteen as a replacement on my belt.
Okay.
So I have a canteen and 9 meter rope on my belt, even though it's not really on my belt. It's like over the shoulder and stuff. Canteen can fit on the belt, and my axe can fit on my belt, but I'm not putting it there. And then I have my iodine, ointments, and bandages all pocketed because I want to keep those concealed. And I set this trap up. I wanted to clarify how far I was into the tundra. I was a good distance, but not like super far, like a few football fields.
Okay, you were quite into it.
So it's still like, they gotta go out of their way, but I don't want it to be like super close to the corner.
Okay. Give me a Constitution check.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's cold. I'm aware. 1. I don't have Constitution. That's why I immediately wanted to start doing this.
That's what I thought. Aha. You take 2 damage.
Okay. From the elements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to cut toward. I have jungle and beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cut towards the beach, and I'm going to get on the edge of the tundra and where the beach meets. And I'm going to favor the beach side, attempt to find cover there, and wait till about an hour after dusk.
So you Are you hugging that wall against where the beach was, or are you going?
What wall?
Are you still quite a ways into the tundra?
Yeah.
Or
So
did you backtrack towards the cornucopia?
I
Because
went-
remember the tundra is like sloping down.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So sloping down. So I'm going down, but then I'm still deep in the shit per
Okay.
se, and I go towards.
Okay.
I immediately like perpendicular, like
Okay.
just immediately go towards the beach because I want to get to a warm spot as soon as possible. And when I get there, you mentioned a wall.
Yeah. So tell me how long are you traveling? Like how long are you going to go until you stop and maybe reconsider your plan? From your character's perspective, because it is cold and you're taking damage in here.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm trying to get out of the tundra as fast as possible.
Okay.
So I'm taking the shortest distance to the beach.
Okay.
As
So
possible.
I will say that walking a brisk 30,
It's cold outside.
30 to 40 minutes, you eventually come to a very sheer cliff made up of very cold rock leading up. And logically speaking, you know that if you were heading down a slope in this tundra, the beach must be on the other side, quite possibly above you, because the beach wasn't sloping.
God, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Didn't realize, man. I would have to backtrack to the beach then. I mean, backtrack to the starting area then. I wasn't aware.
Or you can see that this rock face is possibly climbable.
How high is it?
It is. It's quite a climb. It's at least 50 meters.
That's a hell of a climb.
Yes.
I'm not going to climb that. Because climbing in that, yeah, it would be less physically demanding to actually backtrack at this point towards the starting arena. The wall might be a little bit of a hot spot, but I'm willing to risk it. Am I able to conceal my axe within my jacket?
You
Hiding
are.
most of
You
it?
are. However, as a result, you would be heavily. Your dex check would receive a minus drawing it out.
Okay.
So if somebody were to jump you, for instance,
Yeah.
you'd be fumbling to get it out.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Okay.
I don't want people to see that I have an axe. And I follow the wall towards a spot where I can easily just vault over into the beach area.
Okay.
And basically find cover in the beach and wait for just before nightfall.
A true D20 check, please.
A true D20 is a 12.
All right. Give me a cunning check.
Is this awareness?
Yes.
So that's going to be 7 plus 2 is 9 plus 6 is 15.
You make it to a decent area where you feel like you can just climb up a few handholds and then be on the other side. You take
Great.
1 more point of environment damage,
Okay.
and upon feeling suddenly better because you're hitting a warmer area suddenly, you become very aware that you feel like you're being watched.
I'm just trying my best to hide my weapon, and I'm going to find cover as soon as possible, if there is cover in a freaking beach. Are there, like, dunes?
Nope.
Is it completely flat?
It's slightly sloped into the water, and then it just ends.
Meanwhile, there's Stewart off the
So I'm
side,
probably being watched. Yeah, I'm probably being watched. So I will go ahead and I do a quick perimeter check since it's flat. I can see for a very long ways around me. I want to see if anyone's immediately near me.
D20 cunning.
Because I know about how far like someone can shoot me with a bow or something like that. 16 plus 2 cunning is 18, and if awareness or not, it would be 24.
You cannot see anyone, at least not from behind you, because the wind is like churning and it's harder to like see through because all the snow looks the same. And so you either assume that they're hiding somewhere that you cannot see behind you, or that someone is scoping you from the cornucopia, because that is in sight.
Yeah, because I had to walk a long ways back.
And you do know, based on that arrow that missed you, there is at least one bow.
Yeah, in use, yeah.
Yes.
I will go ahead and, instead of finding cover, because there is no cover, I'm going to go towards the water. And you said it's slightly sloped down,
Mm-hmm.
but not as much as the tundra.
I would say about as much, but it ends rather quickly because it hits water.
Okay. I will actually head toward the water.
Okay. So, during that time that he was adventuring and going through the tundra, you're out of the cold now.
Yeah.
Taylor, you've been up in the trees. You've been keenly aware since you're not moving anymore. Hunger is starting to bite at you. You also notice, because you've had time to calm down and calm your nerves and feel secure where you are, the sun light isn't changing.
The light isn't changing?
The light is not changing.
Okay.
Any more bright ideas?
I do want to clarify.
I regret nothing.
Going towards the water doesn't mean like touching the water.
No, I know.
Like when it slopes downhill, I want to get just outside of the cornucopia because the hill is eventually going to obscure me.
Yes, but the cornucopia is directly on top of the hill, meaning that if somebody
It
were
has a
saying
grand
like
line of sight.
if cornucopia had eyes, it could see you from where it is.
Cool.
I'm sorry. I'm with you now. Yes?
No worries.
It's okay, we weren't paying attention anyway.
Wow. Wow.
His words. Oh my.
So Stuart dies. He bleeds out.
I don't think I'm gonna move. I'm gonna wait it out just a little bit longer just to like see what happens with the light. That's about it.
You also start to see. Sorry. You see a couple of flamingos walk by you a few times. They don't notice you. They don't look up or anything. But you just see beautiful pink flamingos just chilling, walking by. And you're like, okay. Do you do anything with them?
Ugh,
Fucking.
I want food, but I don't know if I want a flamingo.
It's a bird. man.
Stewart's pescatarian.
Oh, okay.
Because you know there's a lot of fish in the mines.
You know, I'm religious too.
God damn it, Cameron.
I'm not gonna do anything with the flamingos.
Okay. Trevor,
But the flamencos.
you have a blood covered, or not covered, you have a blood dipped knife, and you are hiding from people. You're not sure if you're alone. You are under the roots, but yeah.
See, that's the root of all my problems. Um, I'm gonna spend some time in amongst the dirt. Is the ground relatively moist here?
Yes.
Generally, I want to dirty the shit out of all of my clothes. Get rid of the orange streaks in particular, cover up even the gray as best I can. I want to go back to my mine days where I was coated in nothing but dust and coal, but now it's just going to be dirt and mud. I'm going to go full on Schwarzenegger and Predator.
Give me a true D20 check, please. While you're doing the process of covering yourself with muck, not the Pokemon, all of you hear the cannon fire again.
So close to a nat 20. 14.
Okay. I will say that you know quite well how to cover yourself with dirt to stay out of sight, and even the feeling of being covered gives you a feeling of safety because it's familiar. But you can tell this is a different type of loam, shall we say, than the mines.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just going to Do I hear the sounds of anybody around me?
Yes.
What's the sound?
Footsteps against dry-ish leaves.
Can I tell if they're heading towards me?
You can tell that they're nearby, but you can't even tell if they're on the other side of the tree from you, or if they're behind, like where you came from, or they're further into the jungle, because from your vantage point, you're in a domed, like, cup, so all the sound, it sounds like it's coming from everywhere.
As slowly and quietly and carefully as possible, I'm going to poke first my head out of the hole, knife in hand, and I'm going to try and look around and see if I can see the person who's near me.
Which knife are you using? The one you picked up, or the one that hit you?
The one I picked up.
Okay.
Or I could dual wield, have the throwing knife in my offhand.
You could.
No, just the one dagger in my main hand. Hi,
bad.
Cody.
You see the person. They are quite young. They are injured in the leg, and their back is to you.
Do they have any items on them?
Yes.
Shank, I'm gonna go up and backstab.
Where do you backstab, considering that their back is covered with a backpack?
Right in the
Around the side.
Right in the
Underneath
anus.
the rib going up.
Need some help crapping? No.
Right up the bunghole and twist. No, I'm gonna go around their side. Like, I'm gonna go up, hand over the mouth, and then knife is gonna go around their body, under the rib, and in.
So I'm going to ask for you to re-engage sneak, because you're now changing your position quite drastically.
25.
Beautiful. I need you to give me a dex check of movement toward them.
He spots you. Weird.
Dex check for what?
A dex check of movement toward them.
18.
And then finally, I need an intelligence check on where to strike them properly.
That's just a flat roll for me. 12.
Cool. Because you're surprising them, and he's an inexperienced 14-year-old, you accurately grab them, inject the blade into them like a shot, and you successfully crit, naturally, with a bit of extra. So what is your crit damage?
So my crit would be 4, and then it's cunning twice for a backstab, right?
But it's not the backstab. Do you have a backstab ability? Oh my god.
Oh, well,
So
Yeah.
then, yeah.
he's dead.
Yeah, he's soup's dead. So my
That's
cunning is
double P.
5, so it's 10 plus 4, plus the plus 2 damage I deal with knives. So 16 plus whatever extra you were about to add. Oh, plus dex again for a crit, right?
Yes.
No. Yes?
So
Yes.
Yes. So 10 plus freaking 4 for the dagger is 14, plus 3 for my dex is 17, plus 2 for my what are you gonna do?
So you correctly and properly stab him in the side while covering his mouth. He barely has time to even, like, have a gasp of breath in shock as you pull the knife back out, and as a killing move, get to stab him one more time in any area you want.
Bye-bye, buddy.
He falls to the ground, and almost as soon as he hits the ground, the cannon fires again. He has a backpack that is very dark gray.
I'll take it. Is there anything inside?
Yes.
Another backpack.
Oh, it's like backpack inside is a smaller, shittier backpack, which in turn contains a fancy pack.
Okay. Inside of it, you see a large, tall canteen. It's thinner and longer, giggity, and you hear the slosh of water inside.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus, yes.
You also find hold on, 2 snacks inside. There are a roll of crackers, and there is a pouch of dried mango.
Got it.
Okay.
Does pants look like they're gonna fit me?
The pants? They'd be a bit big on you. Like lengthy wise.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave his body where it lies, unless there's anything else.
That's all that he was able to grab. He didn't even have a weapon.
Got it. I'm gonna leave him where he lies, and I'm gonna try stealth my way through the jungle till I find my next hiding spot.
Okay. Do you go deeper in, or more perpendicular, or how do you go in?
I'm gonna go parallel to the border between this and the tundra
Okay.
that I crossed over, heading farther away from the cornucopia.
Okay. D20 true check, please.
Can I sneak first?
Yes.
Ooh, that's not good. That's only 12 for my sneak.
Okay.
And then the flat D20 roll is a 13.
Okay. Jeff,
Wow, that was
you
a 3.
you approach the water. What are you doing?
I take a leap, and then I look back at the cornucopia, and I sit at the water's edge, and I stare directly at the cornucopia as if it is a person, and wait
Where is your back?
towards the water.
You hear a sound coming from the right side, essentially where the tundra was.
Where the wall is?
Where the wall is, you know that it's deeper
Yeah.
in. Like if you were to like bend your neck back, it like slopes down out of sight, effectively. You hear some rustling over there, as if somebody is following the path that you walked up that slope and is about to turn the corner into the beach. So as if somebody was stalking you. And not in the sweet way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what way?
How far would that turn into the beach be in front of me?
I imagine that you walked, as soon as you made that corner, you walked a bit, like diagonal down to the water. Not like you completely did a U-turn and went down. So about 10 yards at minimum. Sorry, meters at minimum.
10 meters away from me.
You
We all
cannot
know
see
that
anyone.
metric is
Yeah, I can't see
superior.
anyone because the wall is obscuring them. Well, that's interesting because I'm a very non-confrontational character.
Unlike me. Hey Trevor, you find an unarmored child near you.
I'm going to stand up immediately, quietly, and I'm going to trust that they don't have a ranged weapon. I will walk as quietly as possible. I know I don't have sneak, but I will walk towards where that U-turn space is, and I will wait,
Rather
concealing my axe.
rather soon, I would even say.
It's like behind my back. Sorry.
Rather soon, I would say, even at the point when you were about to hit the U-turn, they come and like not nearly collide with you, but like you, both of you are like, oh.
Yeah.
It is Fern, the
Oh.
girl from 12.
Does she have anything?
Not from what you can see. She's very pale from cold.
Mm.
She's even shivering a bit. And as she's looking at you, like at your towering figure compared to her, she mumbles something that you can't hear.
Oh, God damn it. I say, well, I'm not going to get close to you because I don't know if you're going to kill me, but could you speak up, please?
Do you have any food?
No. Do you?
She shakes her head.
Well, I'm very sorry, but you're entirely of no use to me.
I was wondering if you wanted to be an ally.
Sadly not. I mean, I'm not going to kill you unless you come at me, but you don't have anything to offer.
She looks out towards the cornucopia and like out towards the jungle and just sort of like gets another stance. She believes you, and like since you haven't drawn anything, you're just like, oh look, an easy prey. Shing. You since you haven't acted, you're like, she's convinced that you're not going to actually like jump her, so she decides to trust that and gets like her bearings, very relieved that she's out of the cold. And she's like trying to make up her mind as to where to go, and also trying to see if she can see anyone. And based off of her expression, you can tell she's not seeing anything significant. But do you continue to watch her, or what do you do?
I want to continue to watch her, and I see her yearn for the cornucopia, or at least examine it. And I say, well, if you would like to know, I was planning on going to the cornucopia later, because I imagine people will have probably cleared out by now, and I can basically loot any leftovers or dead bodies that may remain. So if you want food, which I imagine is your primary concern at the moment, seeing as how pale and emaciated and frozen you are,
She looks stricken at that.
I say go for it.
Have you seen
Like-
anyone walk around there?
No. I mean, not recently. I mean, they could be hiding, but I mean, either you're going to die to the cold, die to starvation, or die near the cornucopia actually standing a chance.
Or maybe I'll win.
Maybe. If you went to the cornucopia and you found a bunch of good shit, you might even kill me. But I do recommend doing that.
Send her in as a decoy, watch her get killed, and be like, nope, not yet.
Give me a cunning check, please.
14 plus 2 is 16.
You can tell that she is so uncomfortable that she wants to do something. And so you urging her, go for it, man.
Yeah.
And since you're not offering to help her physically, like in any way to protect her with yourself,
No.
she's kind of like, you know, if he hasn't seen anybody over there and I don't see anybody, maybe they actually like left to go hunt other people in like the jungle or something. Because usually in previous games, some group stays in the cornucopia as a base because it's just an easy cover that you don't have to build and it's defendable. But since she's not seeing anybody out there, by the way, the mouth is not pointing towards you. It's pointing
Super.
almost opposite away from you towards the jungle.
That is
Oh yeah, by the
information.
way, the mouth of the cornucopia is facing your guys' area. If you were to ever return to that area, just know that. So she goes. And she just sort of like
Well, I'll be
struts.
damned.
She struts out there.
I'm not making any noise, but I'm like, get him, tiger.
As she approaches like the ring where all of you guys rose into the arena earlier this day,
Silently applauding her.
she suddenly feels very nervous about going in.
Hmm.
Looks around again, still sees no one, and then just like sprints for the cornucopia. And as she's climbing the hill, and like she actually does something smart, and hold on, and curls like out and around the hole, so it doesn't just like stupidly turn the corner
Yeah.
as if somebody's hiding there. She actually does like curve it a bit. So you see this happen, and you what?
I'm examining the fuck out of her progress. I'm looking not only at her, but at things around her, see if anything shifts positions around her as she's moving. I'm examining basically exactly what he said, her as a decoy, seeing if anyone changes positions.
So as she's curving around the mouth, trying to get like a view, is anybody there? You see an axe just like yours fling through the air and hit her right between the eyes, and she falls to the ground.
Well, it's better than starving.
You okay? You good?
You also sound like Markiplier.
Oh!
What is
Hello?
Marketplace?
Oh! Oh!
Hello?
Hello! Hello! Hello!
Hello?
Oh no!
Oh no. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Hello, this is Dog. Dog speaking.
No, fuck you, Chica! No! Okay. Okay. The cannon fires before she even hits the ground. And a girl that you can barely tell who it is based from your memory of the other tributes walks out to her very, like, slowly, arrogantly. And you can tell that she's dragging something behind her and has something else in her left hand. And the more and more she leaves the cornucopia, you can tell she's dragging a body of another tribute with an axe buried in that one's neck. So
Okay.
she's just dragging another body with her as she's approaching this girl. She pulls the axe out of her head, turns around and decapitates the other body, spins both axes, and then wipes some of the blood on her face, and just sighs.
I like this person.
Yeah, she just had to ask her a question.
And that's where I'm ending session tonight. Okay?
You know you brought me in for those very jokes.
Okay. The status of the games so far, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exactly half alive and half dead.
Alright, everybody. See you in the next video. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!
Well, I mean...
But hey, that's just a theory. Okay.
I mean, I mean, the capital is so advanced. I mean, what I saw near the cornucopia could have been just like a projection
That's
of
very likely.
of Fern walking up to the cornucopia and dying,
Yeah,
and seeing someone flourish 2 axes like it's nothing.
totally.
Totally could be a projection. Could be a scare tactic. If someone's very advanced technological traps
Mm-hmm.
to like keep people away from the cornucopia.
Sure.
That's what I'm thinking.
There's some little details that I'd like to share before we fully close out. Trevor, you're tired.
Or what?
Trevor, what? So, one, Taylor noticed that the light hasn't faded during the day. I will say that you have also noticed this, that the cornucopia area looks exactly the same. As if the
Ever-longing light.
sun hasn't moved. Also, this game this year is different because normally the tributes, when the cannon goes off, it's in the evening that you start to see, like, oh, which tributes died. It shows their face and their number next to them.
Right, I was thinking about that.
But now, with this games, you've been noticing that every time the cannon fires, their face goes up. So they're not waiting for evening to do that.
Because there is no evening.
And that's where I'm ending session.
Well, that's stupid. I disagree entirely.
Okay, good night.
Hmm.
Bye-bye!
Cool. Oh, hey Tommy,
Yes.
do we have a tentative start date for
Oh.
quote-unquote full-on campaign?
I would say in a month.
Ending the recording now.